1989, a year that shut out Pet Sematary, Puppet Master, and Parents, and other horrors that didn't start with the letter P. But in Canada, a group of amateur filmmakers were watching Evil Dead and said, "We can do that." And no, they couldn't. This is Things, a movie with more identity issues than a confused teen. But before I expose myself to this wheat thresher of a movie, let's check out a Dweller comment. This one is from @TonyAHawk, or the Tanya Hawk. I don't know you. Anyway, they write, "You're not actually going to sit through Things, are you? I admire y'all. Not only is it the worst of 1989, it's one of the worst ever. Cool, thanks for commenting. And yeah, it's more than safe to say that this is elite tier terrible. So, let's carve into this turkey. We start off promising enough with a naked lady in a devil mask giving some doofus a baby.
I want you to have my baby.
And I want you to stop talking so I can focus on the nudity. Oh, and holy shit, does this music blow! It's by a band called Strike 9, who are apparently proud of this. Alright. We then cut to a reporter played by adult star Amber Lynn, who looks like she was kidnapped and won't be released until her scenes are done.
Hi, and welcome to TV9 News. I'm Amber Lynn.
I'm Johnny Scott.
We are your hosts for today's broadcast.
She pops up once in a while to obviously read off cue cards.
A medical discovery by the world-renowned Dr. Lucas of Grizzly Flats. Scientists and surgeons alike are very excited.
And don't worry, nothing she is saying has any bearing on the rest of the movie. Now, we cut to a couple of dorks who are here to visit Doug, the weird guy with the baby from the beginning.
You must be home. Doug! 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 Are you home?
And the dialogue here just really sucks.
Party, party, party.
You sure Doug won't mind if we have a few of his beer?
Do you smell burnt toast? So, these three asshats are immediately unpleasant. I mean, as people.
Why don't you put something on TV?
There's an idea.
They get the bestiality network up here.
Damn near everything that comes out of their mouths is some sort of insult, put down, or just flat out negativity.
Turn this thing off. Susan's trying to sleep.
And all they seem to care about is getting more beer.
What we need is a couple of hot women and a few beers up here.
Meanwhile, there's a tape recorder in the freezer.
Hey, let's try this thing.
That guy's pretty strange. Don, you better turn it off. I think I'm being possessed.
This is like if I just stood here and made Tom Servo references for 5 minutes. Mrixel. So, Doug's wife, who went through some artificial insemination crap, ends up birthing some kind of alien bug demon thing.
Don! Fred! Come quick! Susan's sick!
Which looks like a xenomorph if the queen drank a lot. And then suddenly there's a whole house full of these things. Crappy papier-mâché monsters that somehow manage to look even crappier than the Hobgoblins I tore into last time. I think I actually owe Hobgoblins an apology. At least they look like they could possibly pass as alive. Sorry guys, no hard feelings. So don't ask me why, but Don the Pompous decides he wants to do a TED Talk about a book he read once. I must have been the only one.
I read a story once about something weird like this. It was a sci-fi novel about a couple of teenagers.
This is really no time for stories, Don.
Not to mention these idiots keep cackling like morons or making lame-ass jokes.
I got one for you. How do you get paper children? Or how you get them? You f*** a bag, lady.
Hey Doug, isn't your wife dead in the other room?
Why don't you and Fred help me to ease the tension right now by helping me find out what exactly happened to Susan?
Did I mention that the audio sucks? Because I cannot stress it enough. It's bad.
What are we gonna do with Susan's body? I never thought I'd have to live with the dead.
Half the dialogue is dubbed badly, and the rest is incoherent and totally lacking any kind of sound effects. And speaking of dead, we finally get to see some actual splatter. But it somehow manages to be really gross and totally non-believable. down to Don and Doug, or Who's Gonna Hit on You at Last Call on a Tuesday. It's like watching two of the most unlikable humans get stuck in a will they make it scenario.
Oh no! What did I do?
I don't care. The big-ass bedbugs finally eat Doug, off screen, and Don gets away. Then we're running through a forest. A random dude pulls Don up over a bridge. Bro, just walk around.
I'm gonna die. I feel like it, but I'm saved.
Things is 5 minutes of movie with 85 minutes of nonsense. And the 5 minutes of movie were bad to begin with.
Isn't this Salvador Dali's famous Devil's Daughter painting? It was thought to be burned years ago. How did Doug get a hold of it?
From a tech standpoint, it's literally the worst film I've ever seen. I'd rather watch Quad Dead Zone again than this crap. And that should scare the hell out of you.
Where's Fred? I think he went into the third, fourth, and fifth dimension.
I felt every second of this movie. I was rooting for a plague or a rogue asteroid by the end. Anything to end this movie quicker.
Yep. It is plastic.
So yeah, if you're ever tempted to watch Things, don't. Save yourself the trauma. You're welcome. Well, that was Things. A love letter to Evil Dead, written by a drug-addled psychopath. Without question, the worst horror film of 1989, if not ever. As for 1990... What the hell, did someone try to shoplift in here?
Lumpy, we have an issue with the worst of 1990.
What, did no one make horror films that year?
On the contrary, my mounded mutant, we seem to have a tie for the worst of 1990.
Oh well, call it a mulligan then. We can just jump to 1991.
Not a chance. Instead, you shall review them both. For YouTube, the cult classic Troll 2, the first movie I saw that actually had an odor.
There's a movie as bad as Troll 2?
In its own disgusting way, but yes. As such, for the Patreon supporters, dweller tier or higher, you will see the horrendous pro-choice gross-out, The Suckling. And before you even ask, you do not get overtime. Tethermind out!
I might need backup.
I know he's dead.